record. Right. Okay, so yes, starting on our feet. And if you can have your resistance band ready, that would be great. Forgot to put my lights on. Okay, so if you put your resistance band down just in front of your feet. Now is my head cut off? It is a bit, isn't it? Start like that. Okay, so we'll start off just with a little bit of posture check, a little breath check, and then start into some of the movements. So roll your shoulders back and down, have your feet hip width apart with your toes pointing forwards. Keep your knees unlocked and get your pelvis into neutral. So that nice little curve in the base of your spine. And we'll just take a couple of breaths before we begin. So breathing in if possible through your nose, feeling the lungs expand, and then breathing out, drawing the belly button inwards towards the spine and closing your ribs back together. Couple more breaths, breathing in and breathing out. One more, in and out. Lovely. And then just come into some nice backwards rolls of your shoulders. Good. And then into full arm circles, so stretching the arms up and then circling back and down. Breathing in as you raise the arms, breathing out as you bring them back down. Good, and then just have knees and feet nice and loose and floppy, and just come into a little bit of kind of twisting around, just wrapping your arms around your body. Lifting the heel and bending the knee, so there's no nasty twisting on your knee or ankle joints. Brilliant. Okay, and then we're going to do some nice roll downs. So if you just step to your wee band. So in the last one, we're going to roll down and pick up our band, okay? So standing up nice and tall, shoulders back. Inhale, and then as you breathe out, just bring the arms forwards, chin in towards your chest, and you just kind of roll down towards the floor, not worrying if you can't quite get, if you're not reaching the floor. And then roll back up again using your exhale, restacking the vertebrae back on top of each other. Breathe in, shoulders back. Breathe out, roll down. So feeling a really nice stretch across the spine, keeping the knees soft. We don't need to keep the legs really straight and locked. Breathe out, roll yourself back up again, and shoulders back. Good, and now on this next one, just roll down, and then bend your knees as much as you need to get down to the floor and pick up your band if you have one. So like I said before, hit record. I think if you don't have a resistance band, don't worry, you can just do the movements of your limbs without, or you can try using a towel, a rolled up towel, or a pair of tights sometimes can work as well. Okay, so we're going to do some nice up and overs with the band just to really stretch across the chest and work on our shoulders. So holding quite wide on your band, you can adjust this depending on how strong your band is. Take a nice breath in and lift the arms up. And then you just pull on the band a little and bring it down behind you, band to touch the bum. And then lift back up, breathe in and out. And just keep on going with your own speed, your own breath length. But what you're trying to avoid is that you're holding it too tight and then you kind of have to bend and scooch, feel like you have to scooch under it. So if you're using a towel, it might be harder because there's no sort of elastic, you know, no stretch. So just see how you need to do this depending on what you've got. Perfect. And hopefully you're feeling a really nice stretch just across the chest and the shoulders. Good, we'll do 2 more. And down, brilliant. Okay, then if you've got your band, we're going to fold it over in 2 and just hold onto it shoulder width apart. And you keep a little bit of tension on the band. This adds that extra element when we really start to work into the arms. Of course, if that gets too much, just release that tension, stop pulling so hard, or just drop the band altogether if it gets really uncomfortable. Okay, so again, lift the arms up overhead, but just watch we don't scrunch the shoulders up towards the ears. So just take a wee moment and drop the shoulders down. Good. Now, inhale, take the body and the arms over into a right hand side bend. And then use the exhale to bring everything back into the center. Then again, over to the other side. And out. Good, shoulders down. Check your shoulders each time you come through the center. And we just keep going side to side. Good, and trying to get that connection with the core breathing. Exhaling, pulling belly button inwards to give your core strength and stability and bring yourself back into the center. Lovely. Keeping tension on the band if you can. Good, we'll do 1 more to each side. Lovely. And then just relax the arms down, give those shoulders a nice wee circle and stretch out. Lovely. Now, if you bring your heels together, I don't know if you can really see my feet. I'm trying to get head and feet in shot. It's harder than you would think. So heels together, toes apart, so your feet are in that nice V shape. And then lift the arms out in front of you, just to about chest height. Okay, good. Now we're going to go into our side bend. So take a nice breath in, and then on your out breath, twist over to the right. Keep squeezing your thighs in towards each other so your hips aren't moving. Then come back into the center, and then twist over to the other side, and come back. And again, we just keep on going side to side. Good, so again, what you're not doing is following around, with the hips, and just having that little sort of V shape with the feet helps you just to avoid doing that. If the arms get too much, just drop them down and keep going with the spine twist. Good. And then come back into the center, drop the arms down and just take a little step apart. So your feet are now maybe slightly wider than shoulder width. And we're going to do a little squat and combine it with a spine twist, okay? So arms out in front at that chest height. And then we're going to push the bum back, bend at the knees, taking the knees out in the same direction as the toes. Come down into a squat. And then on your exhale, push up, a nice little squeeze into the glutes, and then come into your spine twist, but keep those hips pointing forwards. Back into the center, come down into another squat. Exhale up. Over to your spine twist to the other side. And back to the center. Come into a squat. And twist to the right. Good. Back to the center, down to your squat. And push up, twist to the left. And you just go at your speed, slowing it down as much as you need to. Only squatting down as far as is comfortable for your body and twisting round as far as is comfortable for your spine. All the time, checking in with those shoulders. Watch we don't start to get all scrunchy. And try to keep a little bit of tension on the band so the arms are really working hard. And remember a nice little squeeze of the glutes when you push up from your squat. Good. Lovely. We'll just do one more to each side, so 2 more squats. Brilliant. And back to the center. And down. Good. Now put your band away for a moment. And we're going to come down onto the floor, onto our mats. There we go. So if you stand at the end of your mat and just roll yourself down and then come down onto your hands and knees. Okay, so hands underneath shoulders, knees underneath hips. And of course, we start off with our cat-cow just to keep mobilizing that spine. So on our inhale, push belly down, tailbone up, and look forwards. Take a nice breath of air in, and then breathe out, drawing belly button in, rounding across the shoulders, and breathing all the air out towards your knees and feet. And then again, breathe in, scoop the spine, breathe out, round the spine. Breathe in and scoop. And breathe out and round. We'll do 2 more. Brilliant. Okay, great. Now, if we come down onto our elbows, so we're going to give the wrists a rest, but really work into our shoulders tonight. If it gets too much on the shoulders, you might find it more comfortable coming up onto your hands. If that hurts your wrists, maybe try coming up onto your fists. Okay, so feel free to move around if you need to. So hands or elbows now underneath your shoulders. And then if you just extend your right leg out behind, and we're going to keep that leg straight and do 10 lift and lowers of this right leg. So take a breath in to prepare. And then on the out breath, lift, squeeze into the glutes, and then tap the toe down. And again, up and down, up and down. Brilliant, keep going. That's halfway through. Brilliant. 2 more. Good. Now bring that right knee back in underneath the hip and extend your left leg out behind you straight, and we're going to repeat that on the left side. Nice breath in. And then on the out breath, lift and lower. And again, and down. Brilliant. We're halfway through, 5 more. Lovely. And 2 more. Fantastic. Good. Bring that left leg in. Just take a wee moment, give the shoulders and arms a little rest. So just sit up, kind of circle the shoulders back. Good. You might like to do a wee stretch, pulling the arms away behind you. Good. Okay, then we're going to go down again. Elbows under shoulders. Brilliant. This time we stick with a bent leg. So right leg, take a breath in, and then on the out breath, just lift the leg in a bent position, up behind, squeezing into the glutes, and lower, hovering off the floor, try not to rest it down fully, and keep going. Nice and slow. You're never in a rush in a Pilates class. Good, that's halfway. Last 2. Brilliant. And then we'll swap over, do the same with the left leg. Nice breath in. And then on the out breath, lift, really squeezing the glutes. Brilliant. And trying not to rest the knee down in between, if you can. Halfway through. Last 2. Brilliant. And again, give the arms a little rest. So just push yourself up. Little circles back and shoulders. Shake it out a little bit. Stretch, do whatever you need. And then 1 more exercise, okay? So back down onto elbows if you can bear it. Good. And then take your right leg out straight again and lift it up to just about hip height or just slightly higher than hip height. Now, keeping the toes pointed if possible. If you're feeling crampy, just relax the foot more. And we're going to do circles, 5 in one direction and then 5 in the other direction. Okay, so nice big breath in to prepare. And then on the out breath, circle that leg in whatever direction comes to you first. 5 times, 4 and 5. Then we change the direction of the circle. 5, 4, 3, 2. Now stay with this leg. 1, we're going to bend the knee and take the bent leg up and then do circles with this bent leg. I think I'm in the wrong position for you to see the leg. So bent leg up behind, then we twist it, bring it round and in. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Then we change the direction, bringing the knee up, take it up, and out and round. Good. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then we're going to swap and do the same on the left leg. So starting off with the legs straight out, lifting it up just slightly higher than hip height. Big breath in to prepare. And then 5 circles, whichever direction works for you first is fine. 3, 4, 5, change direction. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stay with this leg, bend the knee, take it up, twist, round and in. 1, good. 2, 3, 4, 5, and then change direction. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Brilliant. Okay, now just push back, bring the bum down onto the heels, take the knees apart slightly, and take a moment in your shell stretch or your child's pose, or stretch the arms forwards. That can feel quite nice after being on the elbows for so long. And we're getting a little bit of a stretch over the glutes as well. And just take a moment to breathe, rest for a moment. So only staying in this position if it's comfortable for you. If your knees don't like this, you can sometimes, maybe put a little cushion or a pillow in underneath, on the back of your, what are those muscles called? Your calves. And sort of sit back onto the cushion. Brilliant. Okay. Then if you come up into a seated position, and if you can grab your band. Now we're going to put the band around the feet. So if you are using a towel for this, it might not work just as well. So you might be as well to just do the movement without anything, because we are going to be using the elastic in the band to kind of pull on, okay? So band is around the feet, and you're sitting up with a nice straight spine, okay? If you start off with the arms pretty much fully stretched, and a nice deep breath in to prepare, and then on the out breath, slide the elbows back, bringing the hands to the ribs, keeping the elbows close in, so you get a really nice squeeze together of the shoulders and a stretch across the chest, and then release. And keep going. Exhale, pull. Inhale, release. So if you're doing it without the band, it's just a squeeze. If you imagine somebody pressing your elbows together behind your back. So just doing the movements with a nice wee squeeze of the muscles can be just as effective as using the band. Brilliant. Watching you don't start to lean back. Great. Okay, then we're going to come into our twist again. So if you've got the band, I want you just to cross it over. This is going to be it. Now I'm not going to be able to speak properly for the last few classes. So cross your band over so it makes a little X down at your shins. And then we're just going to move this left arm first, okay? So nice breath in, and then on the exhale, bring your left hand to the left ribs and look back over your left shoulder. And return. Stay with this left side for 4 more. Exhale, pull back. And release. And again. Okay, then we'll swap over to the right side. Exhale, pull back. Trying to keep the elbows as close in to the body as possible, because it really changes the exercise when you let the elbows go wide. I think we're on number 5 now. Brilliant. Okay, then still with the band around the feet, we're going to bend the knees and get ready to do some half rollbacks. So if you need support for this, you can try using your towel or something, but if you're we're gonna add in some bicep curls. So for those, you will need the elastic of the band. So if you don't have a band, just do the movement and clench the muscles. Okay, so knees bent, spine straight. Take your breath in, and then on the exhale, draw belly button in, round the chin in towards the chest, and start to lean yourself back. Good. Pause for a quick inhale, and then exhale again. Draw belly button in and sit yourself back up. Re-straighten the spine and get ready to go again. Exhale. Breathe in and breathe out. Sit back up and re-straighten. Good, we'll do 2 more, just the same. Exhale, lower. Breathe in. And exhale to lift. Good, last one. Pause, inhale. And exhale. Sit back up. Good. Okay. Now we're going to go down and hold in this reclined position and do some bicep curls with the resistance band. Okay, so just bringing hands, curling hands up to your shoulders. Sit up tall, breathe in. And then breathe out, lower yourself down. Good. Then stay here, bring hands to shoulders, squeeze and release. Stay down, repeat 4 more times. Good. Nice and slow. Keep drawing the belly button in to protect your lower back. If it feels too sore or twingy, just sit back up again or allow yourself to flop down onto your mat. Good. Last one. And then next exhale, bring yourself back to upright. Realign the spine, breathe in. Exhale. Come down. 5 curls, 5 or 6. Nice and slow. Always mindful of the core muscles. 1 more. And next exhale. Sit yourself back up and re-straighten. If anyone's finding this sore on the back, just do ordinary half rollbacks. Leave out these curls. Okay, we're going to do it 2 more times if everything's feeling okay. Breath in, sit up. Breath out, roll back. Good. 5 curls. 1, 2. Brilliant. 3, squeeze biceps. 4 and 5. And then next exhale. Sit back up, re-straighten, breathing in. Last time, exhale. Roll back. And 5 curls. 1, 2, brilliant. 3, 4, and 5. And then sit back up. Brilliant. Okay, now if you can straighten out the legs. Well, there's different options. If you want to, you can keep your legs. I'll show you actually with your legs straight. We're going into our full roll down and ups. Okay, so those of you who know what you're doing, just go on ahead and start with the final version. But I'll walk you through all the progressions. Okay. So sitting up tall, use your band or not if you don't need it, okay? Nice breath in. And then on your exhale, still that nice rounding of your spine, but this time you let the back reach the floor, one vertebra at a time. Nice breath in as your head touches, and then exhale, lift head and shoulders. Use the band, you can pull on the band to help lift your spine back up, one vertebra at a time. Breath in, and then go into it again. Next level would be to have your legs flat. Exhale. Slowly lower yourself down. Try not to let the legs lift up. Breathe in. Exhale again. Lift head, shoulders, upper spine, middle spine, lower spine, and sit back up. Forget about the band. Arms would be out in front. And then exhale. Slowly lower down. Then float the arms up overhead, taking a nice breath in. And then breathe out. Lift head, lift shoulders, upper spine, middle spine, lower spine. And then come into a lovely stretch forwards, taking your hands and arms towards your feet before you go into it all again. Okay, so it's you pick your level. It's completely your choice. And if you are really struggling to sit back up again, we just roll to the side, give yourself a little push with the arms, and then really focus on the lowering down. Brilliant. And exhale. And just keep it flowing like a lovely constant movement. Being really mindful of the spine being in different sections, upper, middle, and lower, and trying to feel that kind of rounding on the way down and then curling on the way back up. Brilliant. Keeping it nice and slow. Good. We'll do 2 more full ones, okay? So finish the one you're on, and then 1 more. Brilliant. Okay, now we're going to come down onto our backs. So if you bend the knees again, and if you need to, if your core muscles are tired, just hold on behind the legs. Otherwise, we'll roll ourselves down just like we did before. Nice breath in, and then on your out breath, just bring yourself down to lie on your back on the ground. And then you might want to adjust your feet. We're going into some shoulder bridge now. So you want your feet to be, quite close in towards your bum. If we can keep the feet and the knees at hip width apart to begin with, that's perfect. And just adjust your shoulders, try and make sure that both shoulders are pressing evenly down onto the ground if possible, and that they're nicely down away from the ears, so you've got a nice bit of space between your shoulders and your ears. Perfect. Now we start with our pelvis in the neutral position, which just means that we feel maybe a little lightness, maybe even a little gap in the lower part of your back, but the back of the ribs is still connected and the glutes are still resting down on the ground. Okay, now take a nice breath in to prepare. And then on your out breath, tilt the pelvis back, pressing lower spine into the floor, your glutes become light, and then just keep on going, squeezing into the glutes, lift them up off the floor, then lift the lower section of your spine and the middle section of your spine, but your shoulder blades still stay connected and your feet. So this is a lovely straight line. just from your shoulders to the knees. Hold here, breathing in, and then on your exhale, lower back down again, middle section, lower section, and finally the glutes. Good, nice breath in, getting pelvis forwards again to neutral, and then exhale, tilt, and curl and lift. Squeeze into the glutes, feel that lovely stretch across the hips. Breathe in, and breathe out to lower. Good, we'll do 3 more. Exhale, tilt and lift. Breathe in and out. Good. Exhale back. Lift. Just going again, moving with your own breath length. Once you get the hang of the movement, don't feel like you have to stay at the same speed as me. It's much better if you can work with your own body and your own breath length. Breathing out on the way up, hold for an inhale, and then exhale to lower. Brilliant. Okay, we're going to work into our glutes now. So we're going to take our feet wide. So if you bring your heels to the edges of your mat and just turn the toes out. So your toes are probably on the floor now off your mat. Okay, now again, we're just going to do 5 nice, slow, controlled bridge movements. Okay, so nice breath in. And then on the out breath, tilt the pelvis. It'll feel a wee bit weird. And then start to curl and lift your hips up off the floor. You should feel this now in different glute muscles. Might feel a wee bit wobbly. Breathe in again at the top. And then exhale to lower. Good, breathe in to release. And then exhale, tilt and lift again. Really squeeze into those glutes. Nice breath in. And then exhale, tilt or roll the spine back down. And release. Nice breath in. Keep shoulders away from the ears. Exhale, tilt and lift. Squeeze and a nice breath in. And roll back down. Good. 2 more times. Exhale, tilt and lift. Nice squeeze and lower. Brilliant. And one last one. Exhale, tilt back and lift. Breathe in. And then exhale to lower. And release. Brilliant. Now if you can walk your feet together. So this time we're going to have feet and knees really pressing in towards each other. And just do 5 more shoulder bridges from this position. So nice breath in to prepare. And then on your exhale, tilt, squeeze thighs in towards each other and lift, squeezing glutes. Don't worry about how high you're getting or not. And then roll back down. Good, release. Shoulders down from ears, good. Exhale, tilt and lift. Squeeze, 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 everything that you can. Breathe in at the top and exhale to lower. Good, 3 more to go. Exhale and lift. Squeeze, 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 breathe in. And then breathe out to lower. Lovely. Exhale and lift. Lovely. Squeeze, breathe in. And exhale, lower. And the last one, breathing out to lift. Squeeze. And then breathe out to lower. Brilliant. Good, just give the knees a little hug in now. And that lovely little rock from side to side just to release the spine. It just feels so nice after the shoulder bridge. Brilliant. Okay, then from here we're going to roll over onto our side. And if you can have your underneath leg straight, and then just bring your top leg to rest on the floor. Okay, and then because you're at home, you might be able to get comfy with pillows or cushions or whatever. Find something that will support your head, or just use your arm, just whichever you prefer. And we're going to do some lower leg lift. Okay, so nice big breath in. And then on your exhale, lift your underneath leg up towards the ceiling, feeling a nice wee squeeze in the inner thigh. And then lower. And again, lift and lower. Good, keep going. Perfect. Last two. Now on this last one, lift it up and just hold it there. Now point your toes and then flex your foot. And then point and flex. Point and flex. Point and flex. Speed it up a wee bit, keep lifting. Good, final 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Well done. Okay, now we're going to go into the clams. So we bend the knees and we have our hips nicely stacked, one on top of the other. So check that in with your knees. Make sure the top knee isn't sitting too far back. They should be completely on top of each other. We're going to keep the heels together as we open and close the knees. So you can do this with the feet resting on the floor or feet lifted, whichever is most comfortable for you. Okay? Nice breath in again to prepare. And then on your out breath, lift that upper knee, keeping heels together, and lower. And again, up. And lower. Good. And what we want to watch is that we don't let the pelvis rock backwards. So if you imagine you're lying right up against a wall and you can't roll back like that at all. So again, don't worry about how high you're opening or how high you're lifting the knee. Just try and keep control of the pelvis. Squeeze the glutes again. Lots of nice glute work tonight. Good. 2 more. Brilliant. And now on this last one, lift it there and hold for the count of 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. I was very wobbly there on that one. Okay, brilliant. Now we're going to roll over to those 2 exercises on the other side. So we start off with our underneath leg straight and the top leg over on the floor. Take your time to get comfortable, supporting your head. Okay, now nice breath in. And then on your out breath, lift, squeezing into that inner thigh and lower. Good. Lift and lower. Keep on going and release. Brilliant. Good. Trying to lift it as high as you can manage. So lifting it as high as you think and then doing another wee squeeze. Last two. Good. Now on the last one, we lift it up and hold it here. Point the toes. Flex the foot. Point. Flex. Point. Flex. Keep it lifted. Speed up the point, flex, point, flex, point, flex. Good. Keep lifting, lifting, lifting. And keep going for our final 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Well done. Okay, now into the clams. So both legs bent, hips stacked, one on top of the other. You might like to put your hand on your hips to remind you not to roll backwards. Feet on the ground or lifted, we keep the heels together. Breathe in, prepare. And then when you're ready, exhale, lift, and lower. Lift, and release. Brilliant. Good. And again, don't worry about the height. We don't need to lift high for this exercise to be effective. Good. And now on this last one, lift it up and hold in the open position for the count of 10. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Well done. It's so much easier to count slowly like that when you're casually walking around the room rather than doing the exercise yourself. Okay, from here we're going to roll over onto our tummy, and if you can get your band, that would be great. But I'm going to give you options for if you don't have the band or if this exercise doesn't work in this position. So the over and back, like we did when we were standing. So basically you start with the arms extended on the floor and your chin or head resting on the ground. Take a breath in, and then on your out breath, you lift head and shoulders up and pull on the band, bringing it up and over and down to touch the bum. And then you bring the arms back up and release back down. Breathing out, breathing in. Now, if this doesn't work for you, you can just, forget about the band and do some arm, head and chest lifts. Similarly, if that doesn't work, because I know sometimes we need the support of the arms to be able to come up into this position, get the arms, hands down onto the floor, and just use the arms for a little bit of support to come up into this back extension position. You can have the elbows resting on the ground as well. And just try to curl up, lifting your head and your chest off the ground, but keeping your ribs connected. So it's completely up to you. There's the 3 options with the band. And back down. And down. Good, keep going for a couple more. Last one of whichever one you're doing. And release. Good. Okay, just bring your hands together and rest your forehead now on your hands. And we're going to come back to these wee glutes now, okay? So you bend the knees and then bring your heels together and take your knees a little wider apart, okay? So you're making a nice diamond shape with your legs. So knees are pointing off to the ends of your mat, or to the edges of your mat. Heels are together and toes are apart. Okay, so now we're going to try and lift the legs up off the floor. Okay, so keep your head rested down on the ground. Take a nice breath in. And then on your exhale, squeeze into the glutes and try and lift legs up and lower. Just a tiny wee movement, a real intense squeeze of the glutes. You're aiming for a little bit of space underneath the thighs, but don't worry if you're not getting that. Good. Just a few more. Brilliant. We'll do 3 more. Trying to keep the heels connected the whole time. Brilliant. Good. And then just bring yourself back up onto your hands and knees. Come up into your cat stretch, rounding over the shoulders to give your spine a good stretch. And then maybe stretching up the sides, just whatever your own back feels like it needs. You're doing some nice sort of circly movements. And then for a moment more again, just feet together, knees apart, and just push back, bum towards the heels and stretch forwards. Or if your arms are tired, just bring them round either side of the legs and just rest your forehead onto the floor and enjoy a nice wee stretch over the lower back. Brilliant. And then if you just come back into seated position again with your feet on the floor, knees bent. And for one last time, just roll yourself down onto the floor. And give the knees a nice hug into the tummy and chest. And then just hold on to your right knee and stretch the left leg out long along the floor. And really pull that right knee in just as far as you can manage. Good, and then swap legs. So just hold on to your left knee and stretch the right leg out long along the floor. Brilliant. And then if you just put both your feet flat down onto the floor, knees pointing upwards, and just kind of let your knees rock from side to side. So you're just sort of rolling onto the sides of your feet or even lifting one heel up, coming up onto your tiptoes, just kind of getting a nice wee twist of the spine and stretch across the abs as you let the knees twist out the body, the weight of the legs twist the body. Good, and then just coming to rest in a comfortable position, whatever that is for you. And we're just going to finish off with some nice breaths, as we always do. So you might like to close your eyes just to help you to concentrate. And you might also like to have a hand on your belly or a hand on your chest. Again, just to help you to focus and concentrate on the in-breath and the out-breath. Noticing how the body moves. Feeling the belly and the chest rise up into the hands and then drop down into the floor. Maybe you might like to notice if you're breathing through your nose or through your mouth, or a combination of both. And then just finish off with 3 lovely, deep, purposeful breaths where we breathe in through the nose and then exhale through the mouth. And do 2 more breaths, just the same, in through the nose and out through the mouth. Lovely. And then either if you have the luxury of time, you can stay in this nice relaxed position for a little bit longer, or you can choose just to open the eyes and finish your session for the evening. And press stop.